guys for all the support that you guys have been offering on the channel. Really does mean a lot to me to know that you guys are supporting the channel the way that y'all are. So keep it up, and I'm going to keep trying to grind out the best content possible for you guys. And, yeah, man, let's keep it up. Alright, so, today, I'm going to be giving you guys both my Eastern Conference predictions and my Western Conference predictions for the 2019-2020 season. Now, few disclaimers. It's very early in the season, so a lot of this stuff is subject to change. Obviously. Duh. Alright? Obviously, some teams are going to perform better than others. Some teams are going to absolutely come out of nowhere and surprise everybody. But, hey, we'll just have to wait and see. And another thing before I get started off with the video, too, I want to be wrong about some of the teams in this video, especially my team in the Western Conference, who I have at the number 7 seed, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But, hopefully I'm wrong about them as well. So, yeah, a couple of my disclaimers, get them out of the way. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show a few of my custom colorways in the background here as I'm going down the list. Alright, so we're going to start off with the Eastern Conference first. Alright, so this is my Jordan 1 Airship colorway right here. Really dope colorway. Alright, so we're going to start off with the Eastern Conference, and I'm going to give my reasons of why I put each of them into the specific spot that I have them in. We got a person watching the video. What's up with it? I have the Bucks in the number 1 spot. Now, reason being is because Giannis is going to come back with an absolute vengeance. I mean, you know, Giannis has evolutionized the way we think about the big man. You know what I'm saying? You could say Joel Embiid, Al Horford, Porzingis, all these other bigs, but Giannis, he is a jack of all trades. He can do everything. You know what I'm saying? Now, the one concern I have about Giannis is rather he will develop a jump shot. Now, him and Ben Simmons are in a similar boat, which I have the 76ers at the number 2 spot. But Giannis and Ben Simmons are in the same similar boat. Alright, if they don't develop at least a consistent jumper or either a little bit of a three-point shot, their teams are going to be at a liability, which we've seen what happened to we've seen what happened to the 76ers in, the Western or the Eastern Conference semis, I think, against the 76ers, and we've seen what happened against them with the Bucks too. They let Giannis, try to drive in on him, and they just crowded him up. So I'm going to wrap those two together, and, my 76ers are going to be the number 2 pick, the number 2 seed out there in the Eastern Conference because, I mean, yeah, they're going to be really good. Joel Embiid's probably going to be a top 10 MVP candidate in the league this coming up season. And, yeah, if Ben Simmons doesn't develop at least a consistent jump shot, we've seen him nail a 3 in the preseason, but the preseason doesn't mean jack shit. Excuse my language, but it really doesn't, alright? So, we're going to have to see if Ben Simmons can develop a consistent jumper. Alright, now, moving into this number 3 spot, and the reason I have them here is because of their aspirations and their hopes of, keeping their championship glory alive, the Raptors. Now, let me be clear, obviously Kawhi Leonard left, who went to the Clippers, we all know that, but I just feel like Pascal Siakam is going to have a lot to prove. You know what I'm saying? He won his first championship, this season, and he also won Most Improved Player, and for good reason. Pascal Siakam, or otherwise known as Spicy P, really, really good player, you know what I'm saying, and he has nowhere to go but up from here, and that's just where I see him, going up from there, you know what I'm saying. He's going to do nothing but get better. And I think the Raptors are just going to have something to prove. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, they lost Kawhi, and, he's with the Clippers now. But I just feel like they're going to have a chip on their shoulders, and they'll be a little bit better. So, have him at number 3. I could be wrong about that, but hey, predictions are meant to be screwed up. It's whatever. Jordan 1 Racer Red colorway. This colorway is actually set to come out maybe sometime next year. But I just feel like this was a dope colorway to show you guys. In at the number 4 seed, I have the Nets. Now, the Nets, we seen Kyrie drop 50 points last night, man, and oh my god, that man is a bad one. When I say Kyrie is a bad man, that is a bad freaking man. Maybe a top 5 point guard in the league. Well, actually, I'd put him at top 3. Steph, Kyrie, and Dame. My top 3. But that's another discussion for another video. But the Nets, Kyrie is just gonna go on a tear this year, and he has a lot of solid pieces to back him up. And this is the most thinnest that the East has ever been. And LeBron's not there anymore, and the East is just like this barren town that nobody wants to go to. But listen, the Nets, when Kevin Durant comes back next season, oh man, oh man, oh man. I know he's not going to be the same Kevin Durant we're used to, but the fact that you have a 7-footer on the floor who can shoot the ball like Kevin Durant and have a lightning fast, maybe best handles in history, who can also pull the 3 ball with Kyrie Irving. You got, what was his name? Joe Harris. You got DeAndre Jordan there now. DeAndre Jordan, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie have a bond. They have a friendship. And chemistry is going to play a big factor in how far this team goes. So I have them at number 4. Moving on to number 5. I have the Pacers here. Simply because I think Oladipo should be coming back this season. And we all know that Victor Oladipo is a volume scorer. The man can score the ball. He's a relatively decent defender, if not above average defender. And I think Victor Oladipo is just going to show off this season. I mean, obviously he's not going to be the Victor Oladipo that we used to see. Players are different after their injuries and before their injuries. But like I said, man, the East is a little thinner. So I think the Pacers are going to be at the number 5 spot. Moving on to the number 6 spot, I have the Celtics, all right? The reason I have the Celtics is, obviously they added Kemba Walker, but I just don't think that Kemba Walker is going to add, a whole bunch of wins to the team. Now, don't get me wrong, Kemba Walker, top 5 point guard in the league. Hands down. I put him at top 5 or maybe even top 10. But like I said, that's for another day, another discussion, another video. But they have a lot of pieces on that team. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. You got I think Enes Kanter is there now. I mean, he's gonna have to develop a decent jump shot. He's a good big on the inside, but like I said, bigs have evolutionized the game. And now bigs are expected to shoot the 3 ball, and he's going to have to at least, show us a 3-point jump shot or something like that. And then you add Kemba Walker, like I said, top 10 point guard in the league, 20 point per game scorer. He's done it for the first, I think, 7 or 8 years of his career, 10 years, however long he's been in the league. And, I have him at number 6. Moving on to number 7, we have the Heat. All right, the reason I put the Heat in the playoff contention is because of one Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is one of the best 2 and D players. He's really good at defending, and he's also a really good scorer. 2-way player is what I was trying to say. Blah, blah. He's one of the best 2-way players in the league alongside, Klay Thompson or whatever and Paul George. And, Jimmy Butler is going to add a dimension to this team. And you also have Bam Adebayo. You got, Goran Dragic, who, can offer you some scoring there too. But I think they're going to make the playoffs there. They're going to be a 7th seed. Moving on to the 8th spot, we have the Pistons, all right? So, obviously, the Pistons just picked up Derrick Rose. They have Blake Griffin, they have Andre Drummond, who is a 20 rebound, 15 rebound per game guy. And we all know that if you can crash the boards, then you have a big chance of winning games because extra rebounds turns into the extra possessions that people can score on. So I just think adding Derrick Rose, it's going to revitalize his career just a little bit because he's going to have more of an expanded role. He's going to have more time to shine, and I think we're going to see a better version of Derrick Rose this year. So I have him pushing into the playoff spot at 8. Now, moving on to number 9, and this is also my UNC to Chicago colorway. Freaking dope colorway, man. I honestly love this colorway. But pushing into the number 9 spot, and this is going to be a super long video, the Hawks. Trae Young is going to come out since he lost the Rookie of the Race or the Rookie of the Year race to, Luka Doncic. He's going to have a lot to prove. Now, obviously, the Hawks aren't this super good team, right? You got, Trae Young, you got John Collins, Vince Carter, regardless of how old he's getting, he's currently the oldest player in the league right now. He's going into his 21st season, I think, or 22nd season, which is absolutely nuts. But just having his wisdom there, along with Trae Young, John Collins, and, all of their other players, they will be a better team than they were last year, which is why I'm putting them in at that number 9 spot, simply because Trae Young is going to continue to do nothing but get better. Moving into that number 10 spot, I got the Wizards, okay? Bradley Beal is, without John Wall, you know what I'm saying? He has to carry a lot of the offensive load. Now, we know that Bradley Beal can score the ball, but he can't do it all by himself. You know what I'm saying? You got Rui Hachimura, I think is how you say his name. You got Saturansky, you got Darius or Davis Bertans, I should say. They just don't have a lot of fundamental scoring on the team other than Bradley Beal, but I have him in at that number 10 spot. Moving on to number 11, the Chicago Bulls. Lauri Markkanen, Zach LaVine, who can score the ball, one of the few good two-way players in the league. Zach LaVine, slasher, he can get to the rim whenever he wants to. We seen Lauri Markkanen drop 30 last night. He was one of the 5 or 10 players to do that in Chicago Bulls history, next to greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. But I just see them getting better than they were last season, just because they bought in a few good pieces, and they'll be a little bit better. Moving on to number 12, we have the Magic, Aaron Gordon. You got Mo Bamba. You have Jonathan Isaac. DJ Augustine. All them players. They managed to slide into a number 8 spot last season, so I could be wrong about my predictions, but with the rise a little bit of teams in the East this year, I think they'll struggle to get in there, so I have them at number 12. Then the last 3 picks, I'm going to just, go ahead and name them out. Knicks, Hornets, and the Cavaliers. So, not too much to say about those teams, but I just don't think they're going to do too good this season. Now, this is the Jordan 3 LE colorway that's set to drop sometime next year. Pretty dope colorway, if I do say so myself. I'd pick these up, no lie. So, now we're going to move on to the Western Conference. Now, listen to me. This Western Conference is going to be super duper nuts, man. I don't even know what to think. When I was naming all these teams out, I was having a super duper rough time, but I feel like I've come up with the sweet spot. All right, so the number 1 and the number 2 spot, obviously, people think they're a rivalry, the Clippers and the Lakers. LeBron himself said they aren't a rivalry, but that's whatever. All right, so I have the Clippers at the number 1 spot. Now, some people are going to say that, the Lakers should be at the number 1 spot, and they can be flipped, really. But The reason I put the Clippers at the number 1 spot is because, for one, LeBron doesn't give a damn about the regular season. He only cares about the preseason, all right? We seen last season that he missed a bunch of time. He's been out of playing basketball since April. So he fundamentally had a 6-month year or a 6-month rest. So, or was it 6 months? Maybe it was longer than that. But we've seen that for a big majority of the year last year, he did not play basketball, and he had a lot of time off to rest. Now, people think that's a good thing, and it is. But LeBron doesn't care about the regular season. He saves his body for the preseason, or not the preseason, the postseason, and he doesn't play good defense. You know what I'm saying? And with Anthony Davis there, that's gonna give them some more wins. But Kawhi is an all-around player. He is probably the best player in the league right now. I put him, top 3 in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? But Kawhi is a cyborg, okay? The man has no emotion. The man is a savage, okay? And, obviously he'll be out a few games to rest because of that quad, but that's besides the point. You got Paul George. Their front court is probably the best front court defensively out there. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. It's the best front court, or the best starting lineup defensively. You got Patrick Beverley, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Montrezl Harrell, and then I forgot who their 5 is, but their team is just all around good defensively. Then you got Lou Will coming off the bench. Lou Will, the Warriors killer, as I call him. The man can drop buckets regardless of how old he is. They're going to be the number 1 seed, no doubt. Moving on to the number 2 seed, the Lakers. Obviously, you got LeBron, AD. Their front court, or their starting lineup, is just huge. You know what I'm saying? They have one of the tallest teams in the league. You got JaVale on that team, who's like a 7-footer. Anthony Davis is almost a 7-footer. You got freaking DeMarcus Cousins, who's almost a 7-footer. I think they have Ivica Zubac still. Or no, he's on the Clippers, my fault. But regardless of that, they still have one of the tallest teams in the league. But they do have 2 of the top 5 players in the league on one team. So I believe they're going to scoot in at that number 2 spot. Moving on to the number 3 spot. This was a toss-up between the 3 and the 4. But I got the Nuggets, man. Jokic is going to have an MVP caliber season. Like, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. He will be a top 5 candidate in MVP votes this year. Watch what I tell you. But regardless of that, Jokic, special talent, one of the best big men in the league, next to Joel Embiid. And, Jamal Murray, the man is a killer. He can score the ball. Gary Harris. They have Michael Porter Jr., and Bol Bol. So, they got a lot of young pieces in there, but they have, a little bit of experience in there. You got Paul Millsap, and they're a really good team. And I just have the Nuggets scooting in at number 3 spot. Rockets at number 4. Obviously, we've seen Westbrook and Harden play together in their Oklahoma City days, but after they got split up, it was a while before they reunited together. So we need a bigger sample size to see how well these two play together. Obviously, they're 2 of the most ball-dominant players in the league, and a lot of their possessions is going to be, James Harden dribbling for 15 to 20 seconds of the shot clock and having to pass it up because he's forced into a bad shot, or the opposing team is going to force him into a bad shot. In the same case for Russell Westbrook, dribble for 15 to 20 seconds on some high ISO, hero ball type stuff, and a lot of teams are going to prepare for that because they know that those 2 players are the most ball-dominant players in the league. But with that being said, Westbrook is a 2-way slashing playmaker, if you want to call him that. And Harden is just a scorer. The man can torch you up. He can light you up. We've seen him drop 35 points a game last season. The man is unreal. He can drop 60-point triple-doubles within a moment's notice, within a snap of the gauntlet, whatever. He can do it. But regardless of that, I have him in at number 4 spot. Moving into that number 5 spot, some of y'all are probably going to murder me for it. I got the Jazz. Man, that boy Donovan Mitchell, man. Whoo! He's something else, man. And then you got, reigning 2-time defensive player of the league, Rudy Gobert backing him up. And then you have Mike Conley, who is going to offer some experience to that team as well. This is my Jordan 3 UNC colorway right here. Man, God, dude, if I could cop these in real life, I would. But regardless of that, I just feel like the Jazz, they have a lot of good pieces this year. And Donovan Mitchell is going to step up in a big, big way this season. He's gonna average more points. And, their team's going to be really good, offensively as well as defensively. I just see Donovan Mitchell improving, and adding Mike Conley is going to help further his experience more, and that's going to help out Donovan Mitchell. Moving into that number 6 spot, man, I got the Trailblazers. All right, we've seen what Damian Lillard can do in the playoffs, man. Obviously, they sent Oklahoma City Thunder, they sent OKC Thunder home on one of the biggest shots that we've ever seen Damian Lillard take in his NBA career, and he just waved goodbye to him. Like, Damian Lillard is one of the most clutchest players in the league, without a shadow of a doubt. If I needed someone to go out there and get me a 3-point jump shot, a 3-point shot, Damian Lillard is going to be one of the players that I call on, because the man's cold. He's cold. He has ice in his veins. It's like another D'Angelo Russell, except, out there in Portland. But him and CJ, they just click. You know what I'm saying? They have probably the second best backcourt in the league, next to Clay and Steph, when both of them are healthy. So then they added defensive paint beast Hassan Whiteside to the mix, who can go out there and get you some boards, get you some blocks, offer some defensive presence. And also, Yusef Nurkic is going to be a big part to that team too. They needed him when they faced, the Warriors, but how much of a difference could he made against the Warriors? I seriously don't know, but we're going to see. Hopefully we're going to see him come back this season, and we're going to see how much better the Trailblazers can get. Moving on to the number 7 spot, we got my favorite team, the Golden State Warriors. All right, obviously they're going to be missing Clay probably throughout the season. He's probably not going to come back till next year, next season or whatever. And we went out this offseason. We picked up D'Angelo Russell, who is a 20-point per game scorer. Offensively, him and Curry are gonna just explode. Because we've seen what D'Angelo can do. The man can score. We know Curry can score the ball. But defensively, they're gonna have a hard time matching up against other backcourts in the league. CJ and Dame. Patrick Beverly and Paul George, all of these big name backcourts in the league, the Warriors are going to have a hard time matching up against them, because D'Angelo and Steph, they're not the two best defenders. I mean, they can defend, but they're going to get cooked up by other, main 1-2 punches in the league or backcourts in the league. But I mean, the Warriors they still have a lot of good talent. They still have the core of Draymond, Steph, and Clay. Willie Cauley-Stein's going to be a really big addition to that team because of his interior presence. He is a rim runner who can, get you a block on one end and throw it down in the other, throw it down on the other end because of his, his size and his frame. So I have the Warriors at number 7. So there's that. Moving on to the number 8 spot, I have the Spurs. That's no disrespect to the Spurs or whatever else, but I mean, I just don't know. I mean, if the Spurs are gonna have the firepower. I mean, obviously, yes. Don't get me wrong. They still have DeMar DeRozan, LaMarcus Aldridge, who is a good 17 to 19 point point per game scorer. But I just don't think they have the firepower enough to compete with the Warriors for that 7th spot. They might, but then again, I don't know. But yeah, the Spurs are really going to be good. They got DeJounte Murray coming back from that. I think he tore his ACL. I think so. He's going to be coming back this season, and Lonnie Walker IV is going to be a really big addition to that team as well. And they got some really good pieces. So the Spurs at number 8. Moving on to number 9, we got the European backcourt of, or the European front court of Kristaps and Luka, the Mavericks. Okay, the Mavericks, I got them in at the number 9th seed, just because Luka has just changed the game. You know what I'm saying? He is one of the best rookies to ever grace his presence on the hardwood. Other than Michael Jordan and LeBron and Kobe and all these other big name rookies. But with him, he is a 6'7", 6'8", just demigod. The man can shoot the ball. He can play good on defense. And got my powder blue 4s right there. Pretty dope colorway. But Luka and Porzingis are going to be really, really good together. That European connection, it's going to stick. We seen them play last night. Done really, really good. But the only question I have is, how will Porzingis' health hold up? You know what I'm saying? It's been a while since we've seen him on the court. And it's, for a 7'3", center like Porzingis, he's not gonna be in the post banging with other centers because he doesn't have the frame for it. He's very wiry. He's sort of like Kevin Durant, except he's taller. Porzingis, but he will stretch the floor. He can get out there and he can, light you up from 3. And also, defensively, he's really good. You know what I'm saying? We've seen his defensive impact he had on the Knicks. But I have this, I have the Mavericks at number 9. So, there's that. But let me know what y'all think about these Jordan 5 SPs right here. These things are fire, bro. One of the best customs I've ever created. Alright, moving in at the number 10 spot, I got the Timberwolves. Now, I could be wrong, severely wrong about that one, but for me, I think Karl Anthony Towns is gonna, prove a lot of people wrong, I suppose. I feel like he is. I mean, obviously, a lot of people, call him soft or whatever. There was that whole incident with Jimmy Butler showing up at practice. He was pissed off, and he took the bench players and he beat the starters or whatever else. But I just feel like Karl Anthony Towns is gonna have a really good season. Andrew Wiggins, he's gonna have to step up and show me that he can be the scorer that he is. But obviously you got Covington, one of the better 3-and-D players in the league, and I have the 10 spot going to the Timberwolves. Moving on to number 11, the Pelicans. All right, obviously they just lost Zion. They lost him for 6 to 8 weeks. Now I could be wrong. They could sneak into that number 9 spot, that number 8 spot. They could make the playoffs. But then again, Zion's health is the biggest question surrounding this team. Let's be clear here, okay? Zion is a freak athlete, okay? Zion is 6'8", 280-something, 290 or something like that. That is absolutely ridiculous. And for him to get off the ground like he is, it's absolutely crazy. And, a lot of that weight, it helps him body bigger players or even smaller ones in the post. But in college, you only play 16 games, 19 games in college, whereas in the NBA it's a full 82 game season plus the playoffs if you're fortunate to make it there. I just don't see his body holding up for long term. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to adjust his play style, and he's gonna have to adjust his play style, and a lot of his scoring comes from him just overpowering the other player, being more athletic. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of his scoring is gonna have to change due to his athleticism, or when he comes back, his reduced lack of athleticism. But we're gonna have to see. But I have the Pelicans sliding into number 11. Moving in at number 12 spot, the Thunder. Obviously, Chris Paul's there now. He has Steven Adams. They're going to make a really good 1-2 punch in the league, because we know that CP3 can pass the ball unlike no other point guard in the league. And Steven Adams, one of the more powerful, imposing players in the league as well. But, they just don't have the roster to make a playoff push, or even, move into those teams looking out of the playoffs. So I have them at number 12. And then to wrap up the video, I have the Grizzlies, the Kings, and the Suns at my 13th, 14th, and 15th spot. Now, like I said, I'm going to come back to this list, further on in the season. Maybe even at the end of the season I may come back, but we'll just have to see. But I'm going to show you guys a few of my customs, and then I'm going to wrap up the video there. Got the Night Wings right there. Really dope custom. Got the Bear Lair Jordan 5s right here. They're similar to the Grapes, but instead of them having an all-black upper, I decided to put like an all-purple suede on them. And, that's them right there. Let me see. Another custom. Oh yeah, the Toro Bravos. Alright, obviously this is based off of the Jordan 4 Toro Bravo. All red upper, hints of, black and, white and, mostly red. So, let me know what y'all think about those. Told you guys we were going to sprinkle in some customs throughout the year. And, we done that. Alright, so no, those are just regular infrareds. Then we got the Darth Maul Jordan 8s right here. Just a simple red and black colorway of the Jordan 8, titled the Darth Maul colorway. So, honestly like these. They're crisp like a shadow in the night. And they got hints of the red in there. Really dope shoe. So you got a few more pairs. Oh yeah, these Racer Blue ones right here. These junks are absolutely fire. Let me know what you guys think about these in the comment section below. And yeah, man. Personally, I like these. If I seen them in real life, I'd have to get them. Let me see. What else we got? You already seen my Fire and Ice colorway, but if you haven't seen it already, I'll show it to you again. Really, really dope colorway. The patent leather is metal on this colorway. The Jumpman is metal, and then put the white 23 at the back. Really dope. Oh yeah, now this reverse taxi colorway, bruh. These actually released a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, week or so ago. Really, really dope shoe, man. If I have the money, I gotta get me a pair. I mean, I'm just saying. Do I like these better than the original taxis? I might, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about those in the comment section below. Got the Gary Payton 12s right here. These are similar to a pair of shoes that Gary Payton was rocking in a game. I think when he was playing for Seattle, or in a Big 12 game, or some basketball game for the older basketball players. But yeah, these 12s are absolutely fire. I honestly like those. And I think that's gonna, round it out. So, let me know what you guys think about my stand-ins in the comment section below. Do you think I'm trash at making picks? Do you think I done a really good job. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And if there are any other top 5s, top 10s you want us to do, maybe I might do a top 5 point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, centers, whatever you want to see. I might go ahead and get that done. But regardless of that, be expecting some Modern Warfare campaign gameplay tonight, alright? I'm not going to hop on multiplayer just yet because the multiplayer is going to be infested with sweats, okay? It's going to be infested, alright? It's going to be a damn camp fest, and I'm not really ready to be on that, alright? I'm just not, okay? Unless my boys is going to be on it tonight, I'm not going into that lobby by myself. I'm not. But yeah, be expecting some gameplay. I get off at work about 12:30 tonight, or I'll be home about 12:30 hopefully. And yeah, be expecting some gameplay of that. I've been seeing like YouTube uploads of the campaign, and I'm just like, nope, I'm not watching it. I want to experience it first with you guys. But regardless of that, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on your post notifications so that way you don't miss a video when I upload. And as always, y'all already know where to find my boys' links at on the channel. Y'all go check them out. And until then, you guys, stay motivated, stay dedicated, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace out.